Hey, here we are once again.
Yeah.
The hell day is it? Tuesday.
Yeah, it's Tuesday. I'm just starting to get over this cold.
I think you had the Rona.
No. Everything is coronavirus. There's 19 of them bitches.
Well, I'm just saying that because you said you couldn't taste anything.
Couldn't taste anything, couldn't really smell anything. It's starting to come back. But it doesn't feel like a forest fire in my fucking nose anymore.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'm hoping I'll feel normal tomorrow. But I almost felt good. Almost felt like I wanted to go out and do something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not quite, but getting there.
Man, it was cold as shit outside this morning. Yeah. I mean, for Florida. I think it was 40 degrees, but it was like the wind was super cold.
Yeah.
But I had a good time.
Last night we watched this movie. It's called Love and Monsters.
Yes.
This new movie. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It was pretty good, actually. Yeah. We just picked this one out because it looked, fun. And I had heard, like, a little bit about it, like, people talking about it. I guess it was supposed to come out last March, like March of 2020.
Yeah.
And then it just kept getting pushed back. And then finally they were just kind of like, okay, well, we're just releasing it to VOD in October. And then they released it to some theaters as well. Now, when they first released it to VOD, it was like the #1 rental for a while, like on Apple TV and stuff. And you can kind of see why. This is kind of one of those just sort of feel-good, family-friendly, action-adventure type movies.
Kind of like Jumanji and kind of like Turbo Kid. If you like Turbo Kid, you'd like it. Kind of a guy goes on his hero's journey. It's first of all, the apocalypse happens, which you always like that. It's post-apocalyptic. The Earth gets destroyed by fucking giant monsters. And they explain how that happened. But it's kind of got a good sense of humor. It's a lot of comedy in it. And kid spent about 7 years inside the damn fallout shelter trying to survive. And he's got to get out of his fallout shelter, cross, I think, what was it, 12 miles?
No, it was 85 miles.
85 miles? Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah.
85 miles of dangerous countryside to go to another shelter where a girl he met 7 years ago is.
Well, his girlfriend
from
his
7 years ago. His ex-girlfriend from 7 years ago. So the thing is, he's kind of a wuss. So he's got to get out and fucking learn survival skills. And
it wouldn't be fun if he was a badass.
Yeah, no. And,
there's no character growth.
Right. It's kind of like, I guess you could say it's kind of like the hero's journey of a fucking, like, developmentally delayed young guy, which is, I think a lot of these guys, he's supposed to be 24, but he's kind of like a 15-year-old.
Yeah, because he went into the bunker when he was like 16 or 17, and like he saw his parents get killed like right before he got dragged off to the bunker.
Yeah.
So he hasn't really moved on from there.
Yeah, so there's kind of an element of, these young guys growing up in their mom's basement playing video games. It's kind of, he's got to go out into the world and actually do shit. It's kind of got that angle. But there's also a kind of angle of where if you're a 15-year-old boy watching the damn movie, you'd be able to, you know what I mean? You'd be able to kind of relate to this 24-year-old. I think that's 24-year-old guy. So I don't know. Did you pick that up? Did you see it that way? It's what it seemed like to me.
I guess sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
It just seems like a pretty standard, like I said, like a hero's journey. Yeah. Just an action adventure, just kind of fun. Like I said, it reminded me of Jumanji. It gave me a little bit of a Tremors vibe.
Yeah, it had good music. A lot of rock music and music from the fucking past would pop up.
It had that "This Is the Day" by the which I really like that song. That was in there.
Michael Rooker was in it, but I fell asleep right after he came in.
I can't believe you
fell asleep for about 10 minutes.
Because you were laying there, and then I was like, "Hey, yay, Michael Rooker!" Because who doesn't love Michael Rooker? He's a delightful human being. And so when he turned up in the movie, I was like, "Hey, Michael Rooker!" And then I was like, "Oh, he's asleep."
Yeah, well, I was sick, and I was kind of tired.
I didn't realize you had fallen asleep. I'm like, "You're not excited about Michael Rooker? What the fuck?"
Yeah. Dozed off for a few minutes and then fucking snapped out of it.
And I think that by the time you woke up, I think his part was over.
His part was over, yeah. Yeah, it didn't matter then. It's not like it was a super intellectual movie, you know what I mean? You had to pay attention to every little bit of it.
Yeah, it was pretty simple. It's just like, so the kid's
Monster
name is...
movie.
Well, the kid's name is Joel. I think it's not necessarily what happened the apocalypse was caused by, so I guess it was an asteroid that was going to hit Earth, and the humans like successfully shot the asteroid, but then the fallout from all the pieces of the asteroid caused all the, I guess it's all the cold-blooded animals or insects as well, to mutate and get really big. So all the monsters on Earth are either like insects, or there's like big, huge, giant frogs. There's big, huge, giant snails, big crabs, like all that kind of stuff. So it's not like, you know, it's not like big bears or anything like that. But it's usually any like cold-blooded kind of, you know, or lesser animals or whatever, I guess. So they all got really big and ate most of the people. So all the people that are left are just in these colonies, like Fallout, you know what I mean? Where everybody just lives in these, like, underground bunkers. And, you know, they're trying not to get out. So the thing that happens is that, like I said, he's been in this bunker for 7 years. All of the other people in the bunker, they like him, but they think he's kind of useless because he has a thing where he freezes up when he's afraid. So they're like, so they can't take him, like, out on raids and stuff like that because he's going to get his ass eaten. So, that sounded dirty.
Yeah, that is funny. Somebody said this kind of sounds like Damnation Alley. I think, did Louis say that? Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people have compared it to Zombieland, too. It does have a Zombieland
like
kind of vibe to it, also.
Yeah, no, a lot better than Damnation Alley. A lot better. Damnation Alley, you know, that was late 70s or early 80s. That was a fucking flop, I'll tell you. But I kind of liked I kind of liked Damnation Alley in its day. It not as good as Omega Man though. Omega Man was a lot better.
Yeah.
But, those two movies, to me, they kind of felt alike. But no, you probably like it better. It's more like a kids movie. Damnation Alley wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened in that?
What, Damnation Alley?
Yeah.
That was the guys that lived in the nuclear missile silo base. And they had to leave for some reason. I think they just said, fuck it.
It sounds familiar.
And they had this damn special survival vehicle. That had
1977.
77, yeah. They had this special fucking apocalyptic survival vehicle. It's kind of like...
Because, of course, you have
Arc 2. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Look at this giant fucking armored RV. That I think it was even hinged in the middle. Or I don't remember. That was Arc 2. I think they had that one. And each wheel nacelle had 3 wheels in it, and it would turn, and it could swim, and it could do all kinds of shit. It had missiles and radar, and they decided to go across country. I forgot where it was they were going to go, but there was giant scorpions and fucking roaches that ate all rubber and every fucking type of material. They got attacked by a swarm of roaches. There was just all kinds of cool shit.
See, now, if the apocalypse involves giant roaches, I'm out.
They weren't giant.
I don't want anything to do with that.
They used those Madagascar roaches.
Yeah. Oh, but, okay. Still, that's pretty.
There were lots of them, and they had eaten every bit of fucking rubber or any kind of fucking cloth or anything out of the entire city. They didn't know it, and they somebody went into a car, and I can't remember what happened, but a huge fucking swarm of them came out of the damn sewer. And they were getting trapped. One guy got trapped in a vehicle, and it just swallowed up the whole vehicle and ate him while he was in there. Yeah, it's just pretty. It had some good ideas. The problem was that it was very ambitious for the time. You know what I mean?
And it was like they probably didn't have the
budget for everything.
I mean, I think it had
Jan Michael Vincent in it.
Yeah, somebody said that. And George Papard.
George Papard. Yeah. He was in it. And
okay, I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, Damnation Alley.
Maybe I just saw the cover in the video store or something because the title sounds familiar.
Yeah, and at night they had the sky was like a bunch of fucking pink lightning and stuff. You know what I mean? From all the fucking damage that the nuclear war had done. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it was. I had to go back and see it again. Damnation. Now I'm plugging Damnation Alley.
It's probably not as cool as you remember because it came out in 1977.
Yeah, no, I remember.
It's probably like
I saw it recently.
Budget.
It wasn't all that great. I thought you saw it with me.
Maybe, but it's really not ringing a bell.
Usually you can see that one for free.
All right, now I have to look it up and see.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Well, this one is more like, I forgot to mention, other than Michael Rooker, who kicks ass, the best character in this is the dog. I love the dog in this movie. His name is Boy. And basically Joel, the guy that's on this quest, like I said, he's in the bunker, and the bunker is like starting to get breached, like some of the monsters and like some of the survivors get killed and all this other kind of shit. So he decides, since everybody else in the bunker has, you know, a partner and he doesn't have one, and he still misses the girl from 7 years ago, and she's 85 miles away in another colony. So he's like, fuck it, I'm just going to go out by myself, you know, and I'm going to man up and I'm going to go find her and go stay with her at her colony. So he decides he's going to do that. Well, when he's out there, he finds this bus, and I guess the person that lived in the bus got killed or whatever, and their dog is still in the bus. So he ends up like befriending the dog, and the dog actually ends up saving his ass a couple times, and that's how he gets over his fear, by like having to save the dog, because the dog is going to get eaten by one of the monsters, and he actually like nuts up and saves the dog in a very, very heartwarming scene, which I liked. But the dog in this is fucking great. So it reminded me too of like A Boy and His Dog, except I think I like this better. But but I gotta say too, like the monsters in this are really, really good. Especially that first monster was like a big giant frog with the tongue, and they had a big snail that was really cool. But yeah, like the monster designs in this are really, really good. And I like the crab at the end.
Yeah, they had a graboid in it.
Pretty much. He was kind of, it was kind of like a graboid. It's somewhat, like I said, some of them had like a Tremors kind of vibe to it. This had a Tremors kind of vibe to it a little bit. Yeah. But not, it's weird because it's like, it's a comedy, but it's not over the top zany or over the top funny, like in the way maybe Jumanji is. It was kind of more like
Turbo Kid. It
was more like Turbo Kid, where it wasn't super funny. It was kind of like, it had like a lot of heart to it, and it was like really just a good-natured, just action adventure kind of movie. And a lot of it was just him kind of learning how to survive out in the world. Like Michael Rooker and the little girl that's with him, they teach him all this survival stuff, and they teach him about all different the monsters, like what kills them and all this other kind of stuff, and how he uses that knowledge like as he goes on. So it's just like a hero's journey, like I said. So, you know, excuse me. It was just like a really fun, enjoyable kind of movie, even though it's like post-apocalyptic, which is depressing. But other than that, it was, I don't know, it was super fun.
It was up there with, you know, like I said, Jumanji and Turbo Kid,
and this was shot in Australia too. That might be why it's reminding you of Turbo, because the landscape and shit like that was fucking gorgeous. I think it was shot in Queensland, actually.
I think out of all of them, though, I'd probably, you know, like if you like those movies, see this one. But if you haven't, if you haven't seen Turbo Kid, you want to see that. But out of the two, I'd probably give it to Turbo Kid. I think Turbo Kid was.
Yeah, I think I like Turbo Kid a little bit better, but I think that if you like Turbo Kid, you would probably like this one as well, because it's got like a similar vibe to it.
Right.
This was called Monster Problems.
Turbo Kid had really good writing. There was something about the writing, and it just felt very organic.
Yeah.
And I think because it had a lot of practical effects in it, and I liked the story, I liked the acting in it, and it just Turbo Kid kind of felt like an '80s movie.
It really did. I mean, they did a good job on that.
Right. I liked it.
Yeah. Now I kind of want to see it again.
Yeah, we can see it again.
Was it on? Where did we see that?
I don't remember.
This one we rented on what, Xbox? We rented this on the Xbox.
Yeah, right? It was like $4, $5.
Yeah, I think you can rent it. It might be, you can probably rent it on Amazon Prime too. It was kind of everywhere. But yeah, we rented it for like, I think it was $4 on Xbox. Somebody asked me yesterday, and I wrote it down so for that. I don't know if they're here, but they asked me yesterday, but right before we logged off, so I didn't get a chance to answer it, what we thought of the Paranormal Activity movies. So I thought I would answer that for if that person is still curious about it. I have to say I've only seen the first one. I think I might have seen the second one, but it didn't make much of an impression. The first one was actually pretty good. I'm not a humongous fan of found footage, but it was done well for that genre. I have seen some found footage movies that I liked, but
I'm not into that genre at all. Those movies didn't make any impact on me.
If I'm gonna like found footage, I tend to like mockumentaries. You know what I mean? Like Lake Mungo or something like that. Now some found footage like Poughkeepsie tapes, I think that was really good. but it can be done well. But like I said, I like mockumentary type, like The Bay or something like that, which is more like a fake documentary.
I never even saw Blair Witch Project.
Now I did like Blair Witch Project.
I've heard that that's the best one. I mean, you know what I mean?
I haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember really, really liking it. I think it helps to... I saw it in the theater, so that might help also.
I think a lot of it had to do with the timing of the release. That came out, it was a new thing. And,
it was kind of like a new...
Yeah.
Not a new genre.
The way the medium was at that time, it was just a really good time for it.
And they were able to... suspend enough people's disbelief, because some people really did think that was like based on a real urban legend.
Because it was real. Pre-internet world, or very early internet, so it was kind of hard to know what was true, what wasn't.
Yeah, you can't really get away with that anymore, just because there's been so many found footage movies. But like I said, I've seen some good, like Hell House LLC was a good one. I'm not shitting on the entire found footage genre, because I have seen good ones. But, Wreck is a good one, obviously.
A lot of this shit has to do with how old you are when you first see it, too.
Yeah.
In the context of the time.
Yeah. And, like you said, it kind of, you have to be in the right mood.
Yeah.
To watch it, I guess.
There was shit that I was seeing in my fucking early to mid-20s that... in those days, at that age, it was just fucking spot on. But you couldn't recreate those feelings you got back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Seeing something for the first time. We live in a world now where, visual imagery is so easy to produce that you're almost just kind of immune to seeing images. You're not impressed by anything you see because CG.
Yeah, you
kind of took that away. You can make anything look like anything. Right. So it's not the same.
Which is kind of a shame.
It's kind of a shame. Yeah, we're not in that era anymore. I mean, just go back and look at music videos from the 80s, like old Billy Idol music videos. There's a lot of energy there, but you can really see how cheap those sets were.
Yeah.
And the edits were real rough because of the type of technology that they had, and you could do a better job now with no money with a phone.
Yeah. I mean, I could do it nowadays, and I don't. Yeah. I'm really shitty at video.
Right, and those music videos made tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Tens of millions of dollars. They were fucking top videos. You look at them now, there's really nothing to them.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. But shit, man, the emotion and the energy was there, and it was real impressive to see that on a screen. When you were young, back in the 80s. You're like, yeah, that was the real deal there. Fucking that's a top-notch video.
I still remember, like, one of my favorite videos from back then. Not necessarily one of my favorite songs, but one of my favorite videos was that song by Greg Kihn. What was it? It was just called Jeopardy, right? Or Our Love's in Jeopardy or something like that. I liked it because there was monsters in it. But when I saw it the other day, it's like it looks like it cost about $1.58 to make. I think there was like fucking it was like tinfoil, and it was just like really shitty makeup and all this other kind of stuff.
What about Peter Gabriel's video fucking Sledgehammer with all the claymation?
Yeah,
that was like fucking.
I remember that one like all the awards.
Right.
I will say though that fucking Aha video, Take on Me, which won all those videos, that still looks cool nowadays. Yeah. I think. Yeah. And that came out in 1984.
It held up.
It really did. Yeah. Just kind of the rotoscoping animation. I guess because it wasn't supposed to look real necessarily, but like all the drawings and shit were really good. It was just really well executed.
It was expensive back then.
It was, yeah. And it was, like I said, it did win all the fucking video.
But you can make a lot of money with a music video back then. Not anymore.
Well, yeah. It's like people don't even see them nowadays, nope. I don't think.
No, the guys that are making all the money are independent guys that have huge followings.
Yeah.
With like that new rapper, what's his name? Tom McDonald. Tom McDonald, he's making a shit ton of money and makes his own videos and even goes on it. But he's multimedia. I like how he did it. He even goes on his own ghost hunts.
Yeah.
And, his album's #1, outsold Eminem. And he's just a dude on YouTube.
Yeah.
So you can do it now, but you're not going to command the attention of the entire nation in the world.
Well, because there's so much competition.
Too much competition. And it used to be there was only
which is a good thing and
only
a bad
few channels, and then cable came and they added a bunch more channels, but most of it was junk. It's just, you know what I mean? The situation is different. Technology has liberated everything. Yeah. You can now sit at home and buy stocks and shit, and other people don't like it now. You know what I mean? Which all this shit's amazing. It's becoming less centralized. It's more decentralized network society. It's not going to be a top-down world anymore. And what you see, a lot of these old people who are in charge now, who used to be even more in charge, losing their shit because how they made their power and their fortune and everything, all that shit is going away. They're an endangered species. It's going to be a network society. I see it coming. Which that's a good thing for us. That's a very good thing for us.
Yeah. Stop
listening to them. They know what they're talking about.
Louis said, have you guys seen The Last Exorcism? That's a found footage movie that's pretty good. I've seen it. That is actually really good. I had forgotten about that one. It's funny because I always say it's like I don't really like found footage movies, but then if I sit down and think of, good found footage movies, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I can think of quite a few that I thought were good. I'm just saying that it's so easy to make them that there's so many that aren't good, But yeah, the last Exorcism was actually really good, and I liked it because it went in a direction I didn't expect. Which a lot of them don't. But so what else?
That's probably about it.
I think that's about it. Yeah,
it's not a complicated movie. It's worthwhile to watch. I'd pay $5-6 for it. No big deal. It's
just
very
it's
feel-good
fun.
It's a very feel-good movie. Fun for the whole family. It's kind of old school in that way. It's not a movie that's going to be challenging your beliefs or anything like that. It's just a good, fun monster movie, survival adventure, comedy, horror type thing, and good music busting in.
And I kind of feel like everybody can watch it. There's no. There's nothing in it that would be bad for kids.
It's trying to cast a very wide, broad net. Yeah. In the way that
it's a crowd pleaser.
Yeah, in the way that a fucking really good Spielberg movie would have done back in the 80s or something. They're just trying to get as many people to like it as possible, which I think fucking that's really the way to go most of the time. I would think. I think that's a very safe bet. And people kind of miss those kind of movies because they're kind of comforting.
I think that's why this one did so well, on VOD. Oh, also, I forgot to mention Jessica Henwick is in this from the Marvel shows. She was in Iron Fist and a couple of those. She played Colleen, right, on Iron Fist. And was she on Daredevil? I think she's on Daredevil, too. But, all right. So, sorry, you guys. I guess that'll do it for...
Hopefully we'll be totally healed up in the next couple of days.
The show today. Yeah, so tomorrow night we're going to do our Drunken Sidetracks.
Yeah, tomorrow.
At 5 p.m.
I got to get drunk again. Got to get drunk and get sick. Hopefully it'll be a good show, though.
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to be talking about, but we'll think of something.
If you guys can keep us rolling in the comments and shit, I'll be able to come up with stuff. The shows the past week, I think, have been kind of rough to do because we've been kind of sick. But I'm hoping the show will pick back up.
Yeah, I
haven't gone back and watched them, but I didn't feel all that great making them. I was sick, you know what I mean? We'll see.
That's true. And the thing about it is that you didn't really start getting cranky until the very, very, very end. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I'm getting fussy.
Yeah, he's getting fussy.
That bitch getting fussy.
He has to be because I just picture you as like a little baby with like your little fists going like
fuck all this shit.
He's with your little fist, like he's getting all fussy.
This shit here, man. Okay.
I know. Yeah. I'm the worst.
Yeah, you bad.
All right, so.
Damn, you're coughing up like crazy.
I know. Sorry, it's like making me laugh.
Making me cough. Okay.
We both got the Rona. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see you guys.
You're gonna make me sick. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, you made me sick. Unless you were sick before I was sick.
Now I'm immune to that shit.
Yeah. All right. So we'll see you guys tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So thanks for dropping by. Bye.